In the last 24 hours, we have seen several new developments in the investigation of the murder of UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Early this morning, new pictures from police showing the suspect's face and the discovery of shell casings from the gun with the words deny, defend, and depose written on them. Those words have context when it comes to health insurance because they're very close to these three words: delay, deny, defend. Those words are the title of a book by Jay Feynman that describe strategies health insurance companies use to avoid paying your claims. And while we still don't know a motive, we do know that earlier this fall, UnitedHealthcare was a subject of a Senate probe into insurance companies intentionally denying people's claims for profit. So what do we make of it all in the face of what happened to Brian Thompson? Kent's here to help us with that.
Well, Jenna, we've each reported on insurance denials, and they always strike a nerve. Recently, our Care 11 investigative team reported on some of the people and families impacted by those UnitedHealthcare denials that were investigated by Congress. None of it excuses this murder or the flood of morbid comments that followed online. But an industry expert told me that backdrop also can't be ignored. As soon as the details of UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson's murder began to emerge, two thoughts immediately came to mind for Ron Howrigan.
Obviously, the first thing your reaction is what a tragedy to see somebody's life ended like that. And that was the initial reaction. Very quickly after that, the first thing that hit my head was, this is a disgruntled member. This is somebody who has likely had a claim denied or some personal issue with UnitedHealthcare and has decided to take matters in their own hand and seek revenge.
Howrigan wants to be clear. The investigation into the shooter and his motive is still anything but clear. But his reaction is based on much more than a gut feeling.
This is a pretty rigged system, and the consumers need to understand that, and they need to push back on it.
He's provided insight into insurance denial investigations by Care 11 and many other outlets, thanks to 38 years navigating the industry, first as a healthcare insurance executive and now as the founder of Fulcrum Strategies.
We work with physicians all over the country, helping them with their managed care contracts.
So you used to work on the insurance side, now you work with doctors to navigate the insurance side?
Yep. I sort of switched sides. So I've seen both sides of that equation and table, but I was really getting very disconcerted with the Wall Street pressure to continue to make more money, what that was doing to how we treated our patients and how we treated doctors.
And with NBC now reporting that deny and defend were among the words written on shell casings discovered at the scene of the murder, it set off alarm bells.
What did those words mean to you?
It stems from the fact that it's a weird industry where when your customer uses your service, you lose money. And so there is an inherent profit motivation to avoid paying claims. And the best ways to do that are delay, deny, and then defend your position on why the denial occurred.
Now, at a time when UnitedHealthcare has already faced mounting scrutiny from lawmakers and the courts, he just hopes the public will let the process play out.
I don't want to see this happen to any other human being, regardless of whether the industry has some things they need to fix. It shouldn't happen. But I think this points to the fact that it's reaching a boiling point where something has to be done.
If people are frustrated with this system and navigating it, what do you tell them?
First of all, I tell them that don't just give up. You have, as a patient, a lot of appeal rights. Talk to your state Department of Insurance. Talk to your employer who's paying the ultimate bill for this. Don't just give up. Definitely don't take matters in your own hands. That doesn't help anybody. And especially now in the days of social media, make your story known. Don't give up. Keep pushing for it, because if it's really needed care, you just can't, let that go by the wayside.
Those Care 11 investigations I talked about just a few minutes ago that cover these denials also include more advice to anyone out there who might need help navigating this process. And it really is worth your time to better understand your rights. We have links to those reports online and streaming on Care 11 Plus. Jana.
Yeah, Kent, and those were done by our investigative team over the course of a year. So they did their homework and they figured out the denials. And again, we're just giving this information considering the backdrop, as you said.
And again, because when this topic comes up, as it's come up through this, we see it striking the nerve of many people who have personal stories and might be navigating things right now. They don't know what to do with those feelings, but like he said, there is something you can do, and there's a process in place for it.
All right, Kent, thanks so much.